Barry, you're coming here as manager, promoter and friend of Carl. It must be very difficult not to think back to Loftus Road, 85, and bring that emotion and experience to Carl's corner. So how have you dealt with that, or is it something that you talk about?
Well, sorry, Ed, to be pedantic. I am the manager, but my son Blaine, my eldest son, is the promoter. My son Jake is the matchmaker, and my son Shane is the trainer. So it's a whole sort of 360 package from the McGuigan team. But just to be absolutely sort of pedantic. But yes, the nub of the question is a very sensible one. Yes, I'm trying to impart those experiences of what's going to be like when the pressure's on. But if you'd been there when he fought Jeremy Paradis or against Cazares, you walk out into that arena and it's just like deafening, and the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and it's like wow, and it just right comes in on your ears. So he's got used to that. It's been sort of an incremental thing each time. So each time the pressure gets a little bit greater, But this is a kid. This is the remarkable thing about Frampton. He thrives on pressure. He loves an audience. It doesn't incapacitate him. It enlivens him. It makes him full of vigour and wanting to do well. He's a kid that if he's in the gym sparring and there's nobody there, he'll spar lackadaisical. But if there's 10 people in watching him, he'll spar 25% better. So there's a touch and an element of showman about him. There's no doubt about that. But a lovely, very solid kid, confident but not arrogant, is self-confident and knows his capabilities but not conceited. So it's a great combination to have. He's a unique individual and he's a hell of a fighter, and he'll need to be, because this would be an all-out war.
Where Kiko came over here and Carl knocked him out. Now, that was a tough fight. Do you expect something similar this weekend coming?
Equally as tough, if not tougher. That's what we're expecting, and that's what we've prepared for. We know that he's in great shape. He's been sparring Lee Selby, the European featherweight champion. He's a very good fighter. So he's got himself into great shape, and Carl has too. So it's going to be a terrific fight. And we're just keeping our fingers crossed that Carl will win, and I believe he will win, and I believe he will win in spectacular style.
Carl has obviously come on since the Martinez fight. He showed that quality and the power against Cazares in his last fight. Is that something he's improved on, and will Martinez know about that extra strength?
Well, Cazares is not the fighter that Kiko is, and it's difficult to compare fighters. I think Kiko's a much better fighter than Cazares, although Cazares had won 2 world titles at light flyweight and super flyweight. Kiko is a bigger, stronger, more naturally heavier handed and attacking fighter, marauding, sort of just throwing punches from all angles. So I think he's better. It's hard to make the comparison. But what was impressive with Carl was Carl knocked him out with a single punch with that left hook, whereas he knocked Kiko out the last time with a right hand. So he will. All I'm saying is this: Kiko will come more fired up than before. He will be determined to win, and it will be an equally exciting fight, and he will walk Carl down, because he can't change, Ed. He can't change and suddenly become a Sugar Ray Leonard and moving and dancing around the ring. He has to fight aggressively. That's his style. And that makes for the contrast in styles make for a great fight. And I'm expecting a really great fight the next time, and I really believe that Frampton will win.
Is he underestimating Carl? Does he think Carl's going to be fighting, on the back foot? Carl is obviously a front foot fighter when he has to be.
Well, yeah. I mean, the fact is, I think he'll have to fight both ways on this occasion. I'm talking about Carl. Carl will have to fight off the back foot and off the front foot at given times during the fight. I think on this occasion he'll have to start off boxing and treating this guy with respect, and using his boxing skills, using his movement. And then at some stage during the fight, he's going to have to hold his feet and start trading with Kiko, and then we'll see what happens. And I'm convinced that Carl will use both skills, and he will have to use both skills, and he'll be pushed very hard.
And is it a case where he'll bring future fights to Belfast, or is he going to start looking to Vegas and beyond?
Well, we have had to pay an awful lot of money to get this fight to Belfast. And without the Northern Ireland executive, it wouldn't have been possible. They have been fantastic. NITP have been amazing that they have hosted this lunch today, and so thank you to them for that. And it's, you know, Northern Ireland are now having big events, and the executive have been able to enable me to build this arena to house this event, because we didn't have an arena. First of all, we didn't have an arena big enough to make it work financially. Secondly, Casements Park, Windsor Park, every arena was busy, something was happening. So we didn't have an arena. And then the First Minister said, what about Titanic Dockyard? I nearly fell off my chair. I went, why didn't I think of that myself?
And so you were, without doubt then, just to finish, that Carl's going to be world champion on Saturday night.
Always said he's going to be world champion. Every conference that he'll be a world champion, and it all begins on Saturday night. He's got to turn up and produce the goods. It's going to be in a hell of a fight, but I think he can do it. I don't think it, I know it.